What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. Today we're going to talk a little bit, because I've been getting requests, about how to spot the juicer. How to spot somebody who's using gear. And in the description section here, there's a link. And the link is to Get Big Forum, which some of you may realize Get Big is pretty stupid, and they have some real bullshit and kid-like, childish things going on there. But they also have a lot of great information too. There are some really good threads on there, and one of the threads was Matt Ogus, YouTube star. Most people actually believe he is natural, ha ha ha. So it's a discussion about whether they think Ogus is natural, Lane Norton, etc., etc. And there's a guy on there whose handle is Disgusted. That's his name, Disgusted. Now, Disgusted is actually a professional trainer of some of former IFBB Pro champions. I know who he is. I know him from another message board that I was on for years. And that message board actually did have a lot of IFBB pros on it and a lot of top national level competitors all over the world on there, like Big Kiwi, Phil Hernan. I mean, a lot of these guys were on there. Lee Priest was on there, King Kamali, Claude Grohl. I mean, there's a lot of pros interacting with people that were not pro on there. And Disgusted flat out talks about how he, I'm going through it over here on the computer, how he knew a guy who was supposed to be Mr. Natural everything. Mr. Natural, Mr. Natural, Mr. Natural. And as it turns out, most of these natural guys, first of all, if you question if they're natural or not, 99% of the time they're not natural, okay? There's a specific sharp, hard, dense, grainy look that only comes with drug use, period. I don't care who you are. If you have that grainy, dry look, you're about 135 pounds, tops natural. The body just can't handle that kind of muscle, have the skin that thin, and be that grainy. It's a Photoshop look in real life. Like, the person doesn't even look real. If they don't look real, they're probably taking drugs. If they are bigger when they're in contest shape than they are in the off season, and shredded and have that Photoshop look, like, we're not going to say his name, but initials LN. LN is much bigger when he's on stage, and then he comes in, about 6 months later, and he's smaller and fatter. That's what happens when you come off the drugs. So how would I spot someone that was on something that I would suspect is on something? Well, first of all, if they're in the gym throwing up 500 pounds on the bench, they're probably taking something. Plain and simple. Second, if they gain a bunch of weight fast. So if they gain 30 pounds in the course of 6 weeks, they're more than likely taking some, because that doesn't just happen. Okay? If they get completely shredded within like 5 weeks, and I mean peeled, they're probably taking something. If they have that Photoshop look, like if all their muscles are round, full, hard, dry, vascular, and their skin all over their body as thin as it is on the back of my hand, they're taking something. That's just how it is. Now, why would they take something and say that they're not taking something? Well, because of the stigma that comes with steroid use. Everybody that uses steroids now is looked down upon, like they're doing something wrong, they're cheating, it's bad, etc. So, of course, these people don't want to hear that. Why would you want to, hear that you're in the gym busting your ass every day and people go, oh, it's not because of his hard work. I mean, he's not even working that hard because he's taking steroids. So they don't want to hear that bullshit. So what do? They put out that they're natural, they're clean. All of a sudden now this drug-induced body becomes a phenomenal thing because they're not on drug. People perceive them as not being on gear. It's the same physique whether you were on or off, but all of a sudden now it becomes a great physique. But if they thought they were on gear, then it would be cheating. So now they're forced to lie in order to have people not think that they're a piece of shit because they're on gear and believe that they really work hard. Now, what are some of the things these guys take? Many of them are orals. They're not injectable. Stuff like Winstrol tablets, Anavar tablets, Turnaball, not too many of the Anadrol, stuff like that. But there are things sold on the market that you can readily get at supplement stores online. Stuff like, it used to be Mdrol by CEL Labs, Tren Extreme. The one Disgusted was talking about in Get Big was methyl 1 testosterone, which was technically a steroid, but an unclassified steroid, so it wouldn't be called a steroid. It's a supplement. So people could buy it online, take it, and it's actually the strongest oral that's ever been made, and look phenomenal and pass every drug test because it's not screened for, because it's not an anabolic steroid technically classified, and they were still a drug-induced bodybuilder considered natural. And some of these guys didn't even know they were doing anything wrong. They just, I bought this supplement and, I look great. My hard work is working. No, the M1T is working. And that Mdrol, I remember the Mdrol when I first heard about it, and it was getting pulled off the market, and I decided, okay, well, before it gets pulled off the market, I'm going to try this stuff. So I bought a couple bottles from tfsupplements.com, I think it was, and I tried this stuff, and man, you retained water like within a day. You get stronger. It was more powerful than Anadrol 50. It was a Superdrol clone. But within a few days, when you went to urinate, it was like a weird orange color, which means that it's making your kidneys work real hard, which is probably not a good thing. That means that this supplement was 10 times stronger than Anadrol 50 and caused damage to your body within 3 days. But technically, it was a supplement. It wouldn't show up on a drug test if you were taking it for a natural show. So that's my advice to you guys. If something seems unnatural, go with your gut. Don't be stupid. Don't look at this guy and say, well, he says he's natural. Why would he not lie? Do you know this person? Is he your brother? Is he your cousin? The guy that the Disgusted was talking about took the M1T capsules and he put them in other bottles so that even his girlfriend and his parents didn't know what he was taking. He knew that he was on drugs, although they were legal, and he knew if someone found out what this stuff was that they would look down upon him. So he put them in other bottles. He did everything he could avoid to being detected for taking this stuff. So, you know, even people even lie to their parents and their brothers and their sisters and their girlfriends. Why are they not going to lie to you about being clean? Think about it. Unfortunately, because of that stigma and people are worried about being looked down upon, you're not going to have many people that are honest with it. You know, and then the people that you do are going to get ridiculed and have backlash. I mean, how many times have you guys seen on my threads over here on the YouTube that, oh, you're only like that because you took drugs when you were younger. You only did like that because you were on gear. Wow, you did it the easy way. You're not doing it the right way, the hard way. What? If half of those people shooting their mouths off came with me for 2 weeks in the gym, they wouldn't be able to handle it. They would leave the gym and probably not come back and find something else to do. But instead, they're telling me that I'm not working hard because I used gear 10 years ago. Doesn't make any sense. So be aware of what's out there. Use your head. Use your gut instincts. And don't listen to people for face value. Hell, don't even listen to me. Go out there and find the information for yourself and dig deep so that you guys can find out for yourself and understand what's going on. Bios3training@gmail.com. Leave comments down below. Bios3training.com is the blog, and we're out.